Hi guys, Miss Tisdale is back again this week with a new lesson, and this is your learning goal for this week. You will use your close reading strategies to jot the gist, circle unknown words, and underline key details in the poem My Shadow. You will also determine the meaning of figurative language. Okay? So that is your learning goal for this week. Let me just read it one more time. You will use your close reading strategies to jot the gist, circle unknown words, and underline key details in the poem My Shadow. You will also determine the meaning of figurative language. What is figurative language? So, figurative language is language that uses expressions with a meaning that is different from the literal interpretation. So, there are different types of figurative language. All right. Got a little assistant here. Say hello. Say, hi, everyone. All right. So, an idiom is an expression that is not meant to be taken literally. A simile compares two unlike things using like or as. A metaphor is a direct comparison of two unlike things. A personification is giving human qualities to something non-human. A hyperbole is a huge exaggeration. An alliteration is a repetition of the initial consonant sounds in neighboring words. And an onomatopoeia is an imitation of the sound associated with a word. Okay, so those are types of figurative language. So you are going to get this the graphic organizer and the directions of what you will be doing for your assignment. So it says here, this week we will be continuing using our close reading strategies. We will also determine the meaning of figurative language. Remember, figurative language is when a word or phrase means something different than its literal meaning. So there's some examples for you. And here, for example, people frequently say it's raining cats and dogs. Raining cats and dogs does not mean there are kittens falling from the sky, right? That would look like this. Okay? Raining cats and dogs really means it's just raining a lot. So like it's pouring. So that's what it really means. It doesn't mean that there are dogs and cats falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Okay? It just means that it's raining a lot. So that's one example. Okay.
Oh.
There are some more examples for you. On top of the world does not mean a person is standing up there in outer space like this.
That sounds.
It means they feel really happy.
That's SpongeBob.
That is SpongeBob. Like SpongeBob, he's got a big smile on his face. So he's really happy. He's feeling on top of the world.
He lives in the water world.
He does live in the water world. You are correct. All right, so those are some examples for you. Now I'm going to read the poem, My Shadow.
My shadow.
I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me. And what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head. Oh, you're sitting with me? Okay. Let's start that over because I have my little David here to help. All right, so My Shadow. And you are going to get this link. I'm going to share it with you. I'm also going to put it on HBS at Home.
Yeah.
Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, My Shadow by Robert Louis Stevenson. Honey, can you just step down for a minute?
No.
Okay. Thank you. You're very helpful, sir. All right. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow. Not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. For he sometimes shoots up taller like an India rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. He hasn't got a notion of how children ought to play, and can only make a fool of me in every sort of way. He stays so close beside me, he's a coward, you can see. I think shame to stick to Nursey as that shadow sticks to me. One morning, very early before the sun was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. And we provided you with a glossary of some words that we thought that you would need to know the meaning of. So proper, which means correct according to social or moral rules. Notion, an idea or an opinion. Nursey is a nanny. And errant means complete. All right, so here's your directions like we have been doing with our close reading strategies. Step 1 is you're going to close read the poem above, which I read for you, but you're going to do it again to get a dig deeper, dig deeper for that meaning, right? To help you understand it better. Remember, poems have stanzas instead of paragraphs. So instead of jotting the gist of the paragraph, you're going to jot the gist of each stanza. So you will be writing the gist of each stanza in the organizer below to better understand the poem. Find at least 2 words in the text you don't know and determine their meaning using context clues. Okay? So you're going to be doing the same thing. So for each stanza, you're going to write the gist of it. Okay? So, all right. So, for example, this is stanza 1. Okay? This is stanza 2. And so forth. All right? It's kind of like paragraphs. Instead, in a poem, they're called stanzas. All right, so let me go back. So that was step 1, jotting the gist and finding unknown words. And then you have step 2, which is this. You're going to determine the meaning of figurative language in the text. The examples have been highlighted in green for you. So when you go back into the text, the examples are highlighted in green. Number 1, the text says, the shadow sticks to me in stanza 3. What do you think the shadow sticks to me means as it is used in the text? Use evidence in the text to support your answer. The shadow sticks to me means blank because blank. So, for number 1, it says stanza 3. So where would you go to find your answer? In stanza 3. Okay. Number 2. The text says, shoots up taller like an India rubber ball in stanza 2. What do you think that means? Hint, picture a rubber ball bouncing using evidence from the text. So shoots up taller like an India rubber ball means blank because blank. Okay? So you are going to use your close reading strategies to answer your questions. You're going to jot the gist. You are going to use context clues to find meanings of unknown words. And then step 2 is you're going to determine the meaning of figurative language in the text. All right. So if you have any questions, remember to reach out to me. You guys have got this. Good luck. I'm proud of you. Miss Tisdale, out.